Hi there and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Swift Challenger Sport 442. So starting off at the front, you've got your hitch head just here. You have to pull your hitch head up and also this black lever at the same time, and then wind down your jockey wheel to get it onto the toe ball. Once it's on the toe ball, that black lever will shoot down and it will expose a green ring pushing this red button up. Then have a breakaway cable. You've got an eye point on your tow bar. It has to go through the eye point. If not, put it around the actual tow bar itself. You've then got a handbrake here. Handbrake up means it's active and on. You have a 13-pin electric socket. For the 13-pin, if you do have a 7-pin, you'll have to get yourself an adapter. Then you've got your jockey wheel on the side here. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back. You have your inserts for your legs. The caravan itself will come with a leg winder, or for ease of comfort you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill to put them down. Do not attempt to jack up the caravan or level the caravan using your legs. They are only used for stabilisation. Now we are using our test equipment today. You can see that I have a red propane bottle. Now you can use butane for the caravan. I'd always recommend propane though. And then we have an in-date gas hose just here. Gas hose then connects onto this regulator here. Make sure both sides of the hose are firmly connected, and then once it's firmly connected, twist your gas bottle in the positive or open direction, and that will begin to feed gas through into the caravan. Moving along this side, you've got your flue just here. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice and clean. Just next to it you have your insert for your water pump. Water pump connects into this part here, and then you have to have your strainer, which sits at the bottom of the barrel, because otherwise it will just gasp air through. I will show you the water pump itself inside in the caravan. Just not running any water through today as it's just being drained off. Then next to it you've got your battery locker. This example does have a battery fitted, which is for your 12-volt lighting and also for your motor mover. And then just next to it you have your plug-in for your mains. Mains plugs into here, and then you have a little bit of a cutout there so that you can lock up your battery locker without having the worry of anyone taking anything out. This caravan does have a motor mover fitted. I will show you on collection day how that works. You then have two inserts here which are for your waste water, so that comes from both your showers and your sink. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe, is the word, to feed into a waste master that you then empty on site. Lastly, for the exterior, you've got these 2 points here. This top one, if I take the keys outside of my backside pocket, that is for your flush capacity. Feed in using yourself a watering can or something like that. Feed in your water into here. Can hold up to 12 litres. I won't put any more than 10 in though, just as you don't want to overfill it. You can also add a little bit of pink chemical which works as a bleach without being corrosive if you'd like it to smell a bit nicer, and that opens up using your key. And then just below, excuse the dodgy camera work for a second, you have your cassette toilet. Your cassette toilet, once it's full, which I'll show you again inside, it will flash up on the flush button just next to it with a red light telling you to empty it. You then come outside, you press up on this orange handle and pull it out just like so. Now for this, you can also extend this out and pull it out a little bit more to make it into a little bit of a suitcase bit, which you can then just essentially carry. Once you get to your emptying point on site, twist, do apologise for the doggy camera work, twist that to the side and open up that cap. Then what you want to do is tilt it, and at the same time as tilting, continually pressing this button here to vent it out. What I'd recommend you do afterwards is open up this slit here, open that up there which exposes the cassette itself. Put in some fresh water, give it a shake, give it a swirl out, and again, tilt and vent. Then on this cap here, you have measurements of both imperial and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Your blue chemical you put inside this cap here, put on just there, twist the head back to the central position, and then push it in so that that orange handle sits behind those white teeth, because then it can't be removed without pressing up that handle. You don't want to travel with either of these two full, so to fully empty that flush tank, you have a little bung here which you just open up and drains out any remaining water. As I said, the caravan will be fully drained off before you leave. Then underneath your right hand side seat you have all of this here, so I wouldn't recommend storing anything underneath here as there are a few electrical components. First up, you can pull this up to expose your boiler. Your boiler sits inside there. Then you have these blue leads leading to that yellow switch valve, which you can just see there. That yellow switch valve is the drain valve. When it's vertical, it's in drain position, meaning any water inside that system gets drained out. Have that up anytime that you've just finished having a good old time in the caravan and leaving site. Give it a quick drain off and have it up permanently between November to March when you're not using the caravan, as otherwise you'll get water inside the pipes. They'll freeze and they'll burst. Then on the top here you have both your fuses and your trips. All your fuses in the correct position and all your trips in the upright position there. I'd always recommend that you carry some extra fuses. Then at the top you can see heating and hot water, charger, spare and reverse polarity. Charger and heating and hot water and spare all lit up, all working. And then you have a system shutdown button just here. Press in that system shutdown button, nothing inside the caravan works. So just don't touch it unless you need to. Then you have this box here, which is your battery charger. If I pull down this here, I've just got some stuff in the way. There is a little part telling you a bit more about the trips and fuses if you need to know a little bit more. This blue box here is your brain box for your motor mover. That is essentially where all the function goes through. Just quickly going back to that pipe though, we are going to leave it in the vertical position when you leave. So just switch it over. It can be horizontal either way. Just flick it down. Then this just here is your water pump. So your water pump connects into outside by just pressing into the insert piece. Then to remove it, you have to press in on the trigger and pull it out. You have a cap here to go over the top of the acroll to make sure no nastiness gets inside, and then you have your pump at the bottom. Your pump has to sit at the bottom of your acroll full of clean drinking water, as otherwise it will gasp through air. Now you can see that they do have a little bit of a tendency to curl up. What I'd recommend is that every time you use it, straighten it out before you use it, or get yourself some white PVC tubing. Doesn't have to be white, can be grey, it can be black for all I care, and put it around the bottom just so it's nice and straight. Then just here we have your main control board. This is above the door. Press in and you've got the power button. It shows that power is coming from the mains into the caravan. If I was plugged in with 13-pin electric, it would show it coming in through there. I could view levels of either the leisure battery or the vehicle battery, dependent on what I'm plugged into, by pressing in the view levels button, or I can press in on either leisure or vehicle battery. Right now it shows 14 volts is coming in from the leisure battery. Now that is from the mains as we are currently plugged in. However, if you weren't plugged into mains and you just have the leisure battery on, it will give an accurate representation of a leisure battery voltage. You then have your water pump button. So you make sure that your valve is in the correct position, which I showed you earlier on in the video, and that your water pump is plugged in and the strainer is sat at the bottom of the barrel. You then come over to either of your taps or the shower. You'd open up the tap on both cold and hot, and you'd let it run for about 30 seconds. If you haven't used the caravan in a little bit of time, wait 2 to 3 minutes just so it allows it to circulate through before opening up the taps. And what you're looking for is a nice steady continuous stream. If there are any coughs or splutters, or it doesn't come out straight, go outside and make sure that the strainer is sat at the bottom, because otherwise it's just gasping through air. But really simple to use. This power button just here, levels and water pump. Then just here we have your panel for your heating and hot water. So turn this on, press this button in just here, flash up with Truma, and that is your home screen. You can see on the front it says internal temperature 23, water temperature 60. Press this button here, press it in, and this shows your heating. So this is what you have your heating set to. You can go up and down, goes up and down by 1, starts at 5, goes up to a maximum of 30. Then to set it, you press this button just here and it's set, and you can see it's now set to 20 degrees. You then have your energy source just here. So you've got a few choices. You can either have 230 volt 4 amp, 230 volt 8 amp, which is currently selected. You've got an arrow on the side to select, and again it's going up and down and then pressing the set button. You can have strictly powered off gas, or you can have 230 volt with 4 or 8 amps and gas. So you can either have strictly electric with 4 or 8. Let me just go back to this. Gas power, or a mixture of gas and mains with 4 or 8. We'll just keep it on that for now. Whenever you set it, it will flare up with that noise. Then press the shower icon, and this is your water heat. So you can either have your water on 0 or 60. I'm just going to select 0 now, because otherwise it's just going to be ruining the boiler. But really simple to use. So select that there. Shows the room temperature at the top, but really easy. Internal temperature, energy source, water heat. You then have your hob, grill and oven operation. Now this is standard to any sort of gas powered cooker that you may have at home. It's a case of pressing in the dial, twisting it to the side and pressing in the igniter. That will feed through gas and ignite it. Only difference is you do have an electric plate. Select whatever gas mark you want for the electric plate. But let me just show you what it looks like when they're all lit. And here you can see nice blue steady continuous flames. Switch that off, back to the central position. Don't put down this glass sheet until all of these burners are cold to the touch, and you do have to travel with that down. Quickly show you the grill. You can see both sides nice and lit again. And finally, let's see how trick I am. Let's see if I can do the oven with one hand. And there you can see the oven all nice and lit as well. Now for the toilet operation, it's bog simple. So I'll lift up the lid. You've got your flush button just here, which I press in, and you can hear that motor. That motor is what would push around any water inside that flush tank system. Obviously it's been drained off, so you can only hear the motor. You can see here you've got your sign for your cassette toilet. When there's a red light underneath that, that's telling you to empty it. And once you've done whatever waste inside here, go down to the bottom, press that handle away, opens up the cassette toilet, pull it back and shuts it up again. To remove the cassette toilet, it has to be pulled back towards you, that handle does, so that you're able to access it. Then lastly, we've got your fridge operation. So turn this on, press and hold on this button here, it will flash up and go to its most recent memory, which in this case was mains on full capacity. To select the mode, press and hold on this button here, it will flash up, and then you have 3 choices. You have mains, you have battery. Now that is 13-pin electric. When you're plugged in to your car, it's for that. And then you have gas. So 3 different choices. Let's say I wanted to select gas. I'd then press in on the grey icon, and then I can choose the level. I can either have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 will take in the most amount of power but will chill it the quickest, and 1 will take in the least amount of power but chill it the slowest. When it's on 5, it does take around 4 hours to fully chill. So when you're plugged in, it will just be a case of get it plugged in to your car, get it down to Devon, let's say, and let it get all chilled. Press and hold here, and we'll just go back to mains on full. Now for the gas, it is a case that I have just checked it, so it's not going to come up on video. It's a case whenever you select the gas icon, it will gradually begin to tick in. You'll hear it tick in, and then once it's finished ticking, that means it's now lit on gas. Then to turn this off, you press and hold on this button here, and it will flash off. There's no green icon at the top anymore.